Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us.
What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Coppin with Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Well, I could have tricked a lot of people today, Toy, because a lot of people were already sending in messages saying, "Oh, we're so glad you're back." They're really glad that you're here, Toy. It has nothing to do. They don't care that I'm here. They don't.
Okay.
They knew. They said it. They said, "Is that Toy going to be on this morning?" I said, "Yeah, she's going to be here." And they said, "Okay, then we'll watch."
At least I showed up today.
I appreciate you showing up. Thank you for being here. I'm adjusting the volume, the knobs. We had a yesterday or Thursday we filmed. We're going to have it up soon. The virtual town hall for the new hospital, and so it's all just information, non-promotional. But a lot of folks on social media were saying, "Hey, we wish we can't make it to the town halls." Well, there's a lot of town halls, and I understand though people's schedules. My schedule with children is extremely difficult, but a lot of people were saying, "Hey, we can't get to the town halls. Why don't y'all stream one of them?" Well, we did. We had a virtual town hall. Had about 20 people show up. Mayor came. Mayor Humphrey was there and his wife and many other community people and people. There was a message that went out and some people got that, and so they came. We filmed that on Thursday. Well, we took all the equipment out of the studio here, took it across the street because I wanted it to be like a gym setting. I thought that would be kind of cool. And so we set it up as in the gym, even had the United States flag, backdrop. I think people thought J.D. Vance was showing up. Trump was too busy, so I think they thought Vance was coming for a political rally here in Huntsville. He didn't show up, but the hospital did. And so it worked out real nice, though. And so we're working on that. I was supposed to get that done this weekend, but as you can tell, I've been a little under the weather. And so hopefully I'll get that wrapped up sometime today. But, hey, we want to welcome you in. I'm feeling if it doesn't sound like it, I promise you it feels like it. I'm feeling a million times better. I just lost my voice during all of this. Apparently started out as a viral infection from my children. Do you remember the days of kids getting sick? And
Yes.
Did it hit you again with y'all's last one, or were you already immune?
I think I was already immune to everything by the time that she came around, but the two oldest ones we all would pass it around.
So the immunity was built up
Yep.
for the last one.
Yep, one of them would get it, and the other two would crash with it, and it was a vicious cycle.
Well, that's where we're at right now. Good Lord decided that I was going to wait till I was 39 to have my first and 40 for my second. And it's been a great journey. I wouldn't change it for the world, but it has been just that, a journey. But I'm thankful because I got the sweetest 2 little children that you'll ever meet. Unless you're a parent, then of course your children are the sweetest.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
That's the way it has to be. But Caden decided he would get sick first last weekend, and he was running a fever. And then he decided he was going to get well. In fact, he decided he was going to get sick enough that I didn't realize that he had a fever. I thought he was over the fever.
Like he planned that, right?
Yeah, he looked at me and said, "Dad, I'm going to get a fever because I know it's been a tough week and you're going to have to come get me out of school." Well, I came. They called me. I didn't realize because I checked his temperature in the morning. It had been 24 hours. I thought he was good. Well, he wasn't good. His fever, the morning it was okay, but by 11 o'clock his fever came back. So I had to go get him. Well, the rule is, and it's a good rule, please don't bring your children to school sick because that's what causes all this. I'm a big parent of if my children are sick and I know they're sick, I'm going to keep them home. Caden was over it. So I thought it was 24 hours, but apparently it was just the medicine keeping it down.
Yeah.
That medicine, that morning I decided not to give it to him, and that's why it went back up. Bridget was like, "Well, you should have given him the medicine." I was like, "No," because it looked like he was still sick. So what I'm getting at is I had to go pick him up, and then he stayed with me all day. He was on the show with me one day because his fever went away without medicine that afternoon, and he didn't have it anymore. But they said you can't bring him back for 24 hours. And so he decided he was going to get sick. He got better. And then guess who else got sick? My little angel.
Yep.
The one that says, "Daddy, I love you," about 50 times a day. My little darling decided she wanted to get sick too. She was missing out. And then the sickness that was in them laughed and decided it wanted to come to me. And it wanted to get after Daddy. So that's how the week was. Thursday I was feeling pretty rough. I never had like a high fever, just a low-grade fever. And then, and I'm telling you, Toy, Friday I just felt absolutely miserable. I called Billy and I said, "Man, I don't think we're going to be able to have a show tomorrow." And so I didn't do one. And luckily both the kids were good, so I took them to school. And this all goes around Bridget working crazy hours. We're blessed that she has the hours she has right now, but yeah, it wasn't a good week. And my inspiration is this morning for anyone that's joining the show is don't sow into the things that are going to continue to burden you. What do I mean by that? If you're sick, don't sow into being sick. Don't sit there and say, "Oh, I'm sick all week."
Go get a steroid shot.
Yeah. And guess where they put it? Right above my hip on the left side, right below my hip line, if you know what I mean. And when I left that urgent care clinic in Willis, I literally walked out there being like, "What you talking about, Willis?" Because my whole leg like went numb on me. And I called my wife who's a nurse. I said, "Bridget, my leg's supposed to go numb." She's like, "Well, maybe." And you expect if your wife, your spouse, your love of your life as a nurse, she's going to know all these answers. She's like, "I'm not a doctor. I don't know." "You're not dying, are you?" I said, "I don't know." She goes, "You'll be fine." So my leg
Is your
was
life insurance paid up?
well, and I logged into that the other day, and my sister was still on there, so I took her off, put my wife on her finally. I didn't realize that. So that's another inspiration. Check into your life insurance policy and make sure you have the right person on there, because boy, my wife would have been a hot mess if something would have happened to me. But we do want to welcome you in. Thanks for joining us. As I'm trying to hold my voice together, I promise I'm feeling good. If I'm a little energetic, that's why, because that boost they gave me yesterday. I'm running on literally about 45 minutes of sleep. I could not sleep last night. And one of the side effects of that steroid shot that they give you is they said you may have insomnia for 1 to 3 nights with this particular one. And
You're going to crash.
Yeah, I'm going to crash hard today. So I said, let's get the show up. Let's get it running. And here we are. But, hey, we got a great show lined up. Let us know that you're out there this morning. As always, we love to lift up and promote and encourage our community. So many good things happening here in Huntsville. We are here. Big thank you, as always, to our friend Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. Visit my good friend Elliot Herzlich. And also, of course, on this very, very non-mundane, non-mimosa
Yes.
Monday. Big thank you to Walker County Federal Credit Union, your full-service Community Credit Union. Toy, what are you up to? It's good to see you again. How have you been?
I'm great. Just doing the credit union thing and the family thing. I have a grandbaby due in a couple of weeks, and so I've been helping my daughter-in-law.
You got a grandbaby on the way?
I do.
Congratulations.
My son's wife is having a baby. So
Wow.
I'm excited.
First time grandmama.
It is, yes.
That is so great. Well, congratulations. See, breaking news right here on
There you go.
Hello Huntsville. I'm sure everybody at the Cred knows about it, though.
Everybody
already.
knows about it because I talk about it all the time.
And
So.
when did you say? Is it any day now? Is it any
No,
week? Or-
she's due April 3rd.
So a baby girl.
Boy. Oh, it's a boy.
A boy, baby boy. They
I thought you were saying my daughter-in-law is due April 3rd. Yeah, it's a boy.
Baby boy. And what's the baby? Do they got a name picked out?
They do.
Are you allowed to disclose it? Or is
I
that?
can.
Okay.
It's Brant Michael.
I love that. Brant Michael.
Brant is my daughter-in-law's maiden name, and Michael is after my dad who passed away.
That's beautiful.
So.
And see, I love that when we honor children in that way. When we had my son, my dad, I knew he was sick, but I didn't know at the level that he was. And I told my dad, I said, Dad, I want to name my boy after you. And that's why we named Caden Malcolm, because Malcolm was my dad's middle name.
My sister when my dad passed away, my sister was pregnant with my niece. And my dad went by Mike, not Michael. Anyways, and his middle name's Lynn. So my sister named my niece, who's now 19. I think she's 19. No, she's 18. My sister has 6 kids. I can't keep up with all their birthdays. Anyways, her name is McKenna Lynn, but it's spelled Mike.
Oh, that's cool.
NNA. So anyways, few people been named after him, and then my son's named after my mom's dad. So we kind of keep it in the family.
That's like, I don't know if you know Will Holcomb here in Huntsville. He's getting ready to move back to Crockett. He's a great young man. He's was on the board with FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He's a real estate guy, a very young guy too. Well, his name is, I think, Will Holcomb the 5th. He named his boy the 6th. So there's a whole line of Will Holcombs in his family. I told Bridget, I said, I'd kind of be cool to have another little Rob Hip running around. She's like, no, we're not going to go down that path. She's like, one is enough. So I didn't get to do that. But that's okay because I got my Caden Malcolm. Now, you said real quick, his name is Brant Michael. Mm-hmm. That sounds like a radio name.
And it's BRANDT.
Brant Michael.
Brant Michael.
See, that's got a good radio tune to it.
Yep.
You're tuned again, 6:30 here on the Wake Up Show. Brant Michael, everybody. I can't do the voice, but you know where I'm going with it. See, he's got a career coming up. So, well, great. Well, hey, good to have you on. As I said, a special guest in the house today, and we appreciate our friend who is joining us this morning, Darren Grant, joining us. He said that I have to say it British, though. It got a better ring to it. I'm going to let him do it when he comes on here in just a few moments. But Darren Grant, one of our good friends, joining us for the first time on the show. That he is an economics professor at Sam Houston, also serves as the music director of Sundown at Sam's, a very great event that happens annually here in Huntsville. And we're going to talk about Sundown at Sam's. Last year we put together an article and some other information on the website, and my voice is starting to really go now, but we're going to have him on in just a few moments.
You need to wet your whistle with some of that water.
Did you know that Starbucks has a medicine ball? Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Have you heard of this? So in broadcasting world, this would happen a lot when I wasn't sick. And it would always happen in March. Here we are in March. Kind of funny, right? And every time it was the Sam Houston basketball tournament, we'd do it in Katy when we were in the Southland Conference. And then it was in Las Vegas when we were in the WAC. I didn't get to do it in Huntsville when they moved to Conference USA because I wasn't broadcasting anymore. But I would always lose my voice at that basketball tournament and at the baseball tournament.
Well, have you ever listened to yourself broadcasting?
No, I don't do that.
You get excited.
Yeah, I quit that.
Did you?
Yeah, I toned it down.
Oh.
I used to get too excited.
You definitely express your emotion.
Yeah, people said that they enjoyed it, but I went back and listened. I'm like, it's not that professional.
No, I enjoyed it. You kind of got the crowd hyped.
NDSU told me to tone it down just a notch. They were and so I did. I toned it down just to.
We wouldn't have told you that here in.
But I went back and I
country.
was screaming and yelling. Have you ever been on the Cat Fans Forum? I started trolling that for a while. It's Jason Barfield put that together years ago, and it's where all the Bearcat fans go, and we get on there and we talk. And I'm a Bearcat fan, even though I went away for a while. I stayed a Bearcat fan. the athletic director up there told me to take off my championship ring. He wouldn't let me wear it. He goes, man, you got to – he didn't tell me. My boss up there did for Learfield. He goes, hey, the interview went great, but that ring you had on, they're like, man, you're going to have to take that off when you come up here, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Because we beat them that year to get to the national championship. Oh, but yeah, the one guy that was up there, he's like, yeah, man, it's all good. That's why we hired you. But he goes, just take it down just like 1 decibel. And I did. I went back and listened, and I'm like, and I mentioned the Cat Fans board because there's this guy in there named Tripod, and he was always like, oh, y'all can have him. Whenever some guy asked, hey, we heard about this guy coming from Sam Houston up here to NDSU. Can y'all tell me about him? He goes, oh, y'all can have him. He screams too much on his broadcast.
Oh, my gosh.
And I learned in the media, and it's funny because I don't let things get to me. And I learned in the media industry that you just kind of dust it off. You can't – it's just like in life. Here's the inspiration, folks. You can't please everybody.
Well, I think that the fact that you get excited and are passionate about it is – it's nice.
Yeah, I get to do it for New Waverly now. It's a lot of fun, and I do want y'all to keep a good friend of mine in your prayers. He is in New Waverly, a good friend of mine, and helps me with broadcasting from time to time. But he had a stroke. I won't say his name, just for privacy of the family. But just keep this gentleman in your prayers. I'm very close to him. He's a good friend of mine, young guy too, and unfortunately had a stroke, and he is recovering. But the road is going to be a while, and we've been praying for him daily and just believing in the best. Great guy. And that's what, something else to think about this morning. Think about those people that you're close to. And God forbid if something that's tragic enough, but if something even worse would have happened, he's someone that I talk to frequently that I would never have any regrets, saying, man, I wish I would have told that guy this, because I always told him how I felt about him and how much of an impact he's made on my life. He's a little bit older than me, but he's a great guy, and don't ever allow that time to come. And we've all been there. I was there with my dad when my dad passed, even though we got to be with him and see him 2 days before, had no idea that 2 days later he was going to pass away. But the last thing that we did with my dad was we prayed with him. I just felt the need. I said, we got to pray with Dad. And we prayed with him when he was up there at the VA hospital. And then when we got home, he always said, call me when you get home, because he always wanted to know that we made it home safely. And we got home, and the last thing my dad ever told me, and I say this without any exaggeration, he said, son, I want you to always know that I love you and that I'm always going to love you. And that's the last thing my dad ever told me. And I'm thankful for that. I got to have that moment because I was talking to my dad. And, maybe you're in a family situation to where, and I don't know what people have been through, but maybe you're in that situation this morning to where there's someone in your family that you haven't talked to for a long time. Maybe it's something petty. I don't mind saying my dad and my uncle got into a skirmish about a truck transmission. They didn't talk for 20 years. And I'm thinking, how petty is that? And I'm not judging, but they had a chance to reconcile years ago, and thank the good Lord for that. And maybe there's something that's happened in your family, and I'm not telling you what to do or trying to get in your business. But if it's a truck transmission, call the person and say you're sorry, even if it isn't your fault.
Take responsibility.
Please.
It's not really the transmission, it's the alternator.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, it was the alternator. It was that catalytic converter you stole out of my car, man, to sell. That's what it was. So, well, hey, let's take a break. Many of you are joining us. Thanks for being here this morning as we continue someone just distracted me. I'm sorry. This shot they gave me is running me nuts this morning. He said, I guess you turned it down quite a bit with NDSU because look where you're at now. I guess I turned it down too much and came back home.
Tell them don't be testing you. You'll show them.
Yeah, don't be tested, man. Real quick, back to the medicine ball. Get it at Starbucks if you lose your voice. That's where That's where I was going with that. So, let's take a brief break. Hey, a lot of you are chiming in, just like our good friend Weldon Wallace. Weldon, we love you, man. Good to see you on this morning. And Rick Boning is joining us. Keep Rick in your prayers. He's got a family member that's having some surgery up in Oklahoma, and so I believe he's going to be there and be with that family member. So just keep Rick's brother in your prayers this morning. But a lot of people joining us. We'll get to all you on the back end of the show. For now, though, let's step aside. Let's take a break so I can get my voice back. And we're going to have our good friend joining us from Sundown at Sam's, none other than Darren Grant. Did that come out okay? It's better, Grant. Grant sounds like it's something off of a Pixar movie. Grant, Davin Grant. There it is. that's coming out. All right, we'll take a brief break. As always, our very motivational Mondays toy brought to you by Walker County Federal Credit Union. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come at your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. Big news, Huntsville. The grand opening of Huntsville Executive Office Suites is happening Wednesday, March 27th, starting at 4 p.m. Join us at 2503 Lake Road for an evening of celebration with great food, live music, and entertainment for the whole family. Tour our premier office spaces, meet the team, and see why Huntsville Executive Office Suites is the perfect place for your business to thrive. Don't miss this exciting event. Bring your friends and family, and let's celebrate together. Visit HuntsvilleWorkspace.com for more details. We'll see you March 27th at 4 p.m. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is KHSP-LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Hi, I'm Ben.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
friends, back at it here as we are trotting along on a very marvelous Monday. Thank goodness the red flag warning is out for us. No longer a red flag type day, but our friends in Central Texas experiencing that. How about a nice Toy 52 degrees this morning? Toy came in and said, I just love the cold, and she is so thrilled that it was 52 this morning. 78 and sunny today, tonight 57. But we will be back to those breezy conditions tomorrow in a high near 80. And then how about a nice little cool front just for Toy again? 68 for the high on Thursday. So we are looking forward to the cooler weather remaining in the forecast. Well, during our transition from Paul Oley's old establishment that we missed dearly because we were right downtown to the FBC Elliott's Jeweler studio, we lost our visitor horn. Rick, if you're watching or listening this morning, if you'd like to donate another one of those horns, we will gladly accept it. But that horn somehow either was lost or was voluntarily taken by somebody. That's what I was about to say. And we have not been able to find it. So, does not get a formal horn introduction this morning, but none other than there's no other that I know of, Darren Grant joining us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Rob. Great to be here.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you for your patience. It got off to a little later start this morning. I had all the equipment we were still setting up from Thursday. But, man, anytime we can have folks from Sam Houston State University, I'm always so thrilled to do that. We used to have a featured showcase that we did once a month with folks from Sam Houston. And Emily DiMiliano had reached out and said, hey, we'd still like to promote some stuff. I said, absolutely. You guys are friends of everything that we do here on this program. And Derek Birdsall's had his time on. He'll be with us a little bit later on. But we said, come on. And so here you are. Let us know just a little bit about your background, maybe how you got to Huntsville, and give us everything except your Social Security number.
Well, I can't remember that. I'm too old, Rob. So we'll go back. I was born in Florida, grew up in Florida, and then I'm kind of a lifelong resident of the South. I've lived in Georgia and Louisiana before coming to Texas. I worked in Mississippi, and my wife is from Alabama. So
Okay.
I've pretty much got all those southern states covered. And I've been at SAM for now over 18 years, so I've gotten to know the place pretty well. I've gotten to know a lot of people in Huntsville, and gotten to see, both the things in Huntsville that everybody knows, but also things in, kind of nooks and crannies in town. Interesting things that you might not be aware of unless you kind of find your way there. And so that's partly where this music series comes from. Is one of the things that you can find in kind of nooks and crannies in this town is fantastic musicians, and Sundown at Sam's brings them, out into the light so the whole public can hear what they've got to offer.
And how many years again? Sorry, I was adjusting a camera there, and I heard it, but I didn't listen. My dad always said, learn how to listen, not just hear. So I'm going to be honest, I heard you say how many years, but I wasn't listening in that one moment. How many years again at Sam?
Over 18.
18 years. So you've seen a lot of just really exciting changes. I've had Bobby Williams in athletics because that was always my tie to the university. Had him on this show late last year. And I said, how cool is it for him, being there for 40 years, seeing that's the school go from where it was to now a Division I FBS program. But even in 18 years, you've seen a lot, man.
I've seen a lot, and to be honest, I've seen a lot of things in nooks and crannies at Sam, too, that most people don't see. And unfortunately, not time for that on this program.
That'll be next week. We'll have you back.
That'll be a decade from now. But there's a lot going on there, and there's a lot of food for thought in all the things that are happening over there.
Well, that's great. Well, let's dig in a little bit more about the Sundown at Sam event. Music is a big thing in a lot of places. I grew up in Georgetown in Central Texas, just to our south. It was the music capital of the world in Austin. And so it was always great, and that influence had kind of moved into Georgetown over the years. But we're even seeing it not only, in other areas like Houston, but even now making its way up 45. We see a lot in Conroe And now here in Huntsville, the Prison City Film Festival just wrapped up. Now that's related to film, but there's a lot of music now making its way up. So highlight a little bit about this event and kind of how it got started.
I agree with you. There is a lot of musical talent in Huntsville. Some of it is really outstanding, and I will listen to some of these artists and just think, why am I not hearing them on the radio? You know, they're that good. And I think in Texas generally, you have had, it's kind of like beer. And I know I'm in a Baptist church. But,
you can mention it, no problem.
We're just talking about the beer market here. But, you know.
We just promoted the crawfish and boil and the beer fest, so it's all right.
I was sad to miss it, but I was in Houston drinking beer. So I guess I didn't miss that much. You know, maybe 20, 25 years ago, there were fewer breweries that you had to choose from. And, you know, you think over the last 20, 25 years, so many breweries have opened up, and they're each unique in their own way. They're fun places to hang out. They're often, you know, kind of personable. And you see that all over the state. I mean, there's a brewery right here in Huntsville. There's a brewery in Lovelady, Texas. Right?
We have a root beer brewery here called Otto's that I never even knew about.
Well, I didn't know about that either.
Yeah.
Root beers, it's been a while.
Not your father's, though. Have you had that one?
You know, it's been a long time since I've had root beer or anything. But I have a lot of LDS friends in town, and root beer is
gig, yeah.
Huge for them, yes.
There you go.
Anyway, so you see that too with music, I think. And you're right, Austin has had a great music scene for a long time, and the depth of talent over there is just amazing. But you are seeing it throughout East Texas, in fact. There's a lot of fantastic musicians. I particularly think the gospel scene in Huntsville is utterly fantastic. And East Texas, you might not guess this, but second to like Western Virginia, the Appalachian Mountains area of Virginia, and like Eastern Kentucky across the border, second to that, East Texas has more bluegrass festivals, probably more bluegrass players than anywhere else in the country. So it's actually a tremendous concentration of bluegrass. And so those are particular strengths, but of course you've got country music, you've got singer-songwriters, sometimes the term is Americana. Bryan College Station is a real concentration of singer-songwriters that perform. It's more unique. They've written these songs themselves. They put their heart and soul into them. And so you really have this tremendous variety and depth of talent in our area. And some of it, I think, has been here for a long time, and we don't always notice, what's close by. It's in those nooks and crannies that we might have overlooked. And then some of it is, in fact, developing and growing, just like the breweries are all over the state.
You've given me an idea, Darren, while you're talking, that we need to have a sponsored segment on this show with some kickback to Darren Grant. It needs to be the Darren Grant's Nooks and Crannies of Huntsville.
I kid you not. I could do that.
The idea just came. We've got to get it going, man.
The number of things I don't tell people far exceeds the number of things I do tell people.
See, on Wednesdays, we have, the Rick's Top 10, and he has his own graphic. And so I think we can have the Darren Grant's Nooks and Crannies on the show.
You'd have to get permission from Rick, but he might grant that permission in less than 2 months. Rick and I are going to be riding Rick's going to be driving, and I'm going to be riding in the back of his old pickup.
How cool.
Have you seen his old?
No.
He's got a old, I don't remember how old it is.
I know they have a collection, he and Kay.
They have a collection, and we're going to be riding in the back of that old pickup at about 5:30 or 6 in the morning, setting up cones, in fact, for Run With Your Imagination.
Awesome. Yeah,
which is
great.
Something that I work with him and Kay
and
their team.
Well, they are our Wednesday Foundation sponsor here. Rick and Kay are with us on the show every Wednesday, so that's pretty awesome.
All right, well, if you want to get a strong reaction, you just ask them about this Darren Grant and see what they say.
There's the British coming out. Well, let's talk a little bit more. This event this year, the Sundown at Sam's, the live music series, the spring 2025 dates. We're showing it on the screen here. March the 20th, April the 10th, and May the 1st. Of course, those times are subject to change. This happens at the grounds of the Sam Houston Memorial Museum there.
Those times, by the way, Rob, are not subject to change.
They are not. Okay.
It may say that somewhere, but you can set your watch by it.
We are good to go. Well, let us know, just what you're really, I know you've highlighted a lot already, but what are you really looking forward to this year as this event continues on and continues to gain ground here in Huntsville?
Well, we just love kind of the gathering aspect of it, and as your listeners might be able to see on the screen there, the setting is fantastic, and you've got this old-timey stage because this is the museum grounds, and so everything takes you back to the 1800s somewhere. And this stage could have been built in the 1800s, and the setting is very natural with a lot of trees back behind you, and the sun does in fact set behind the stage, and so you have the sun setting behind the stage through the trees as the music is playing, and you're in this. The whole area is kind of surrounded by trees, so it's a wonderful little enclosure that you can come and listen to music. We also have food and drink. Available for purchase, Delmi's pupusas, and I have had Delmi's pupusas, and I can attest to their quality. And then also Sam's Table's coming out.
Oh yeah, that's Diego's awesome.
Yeah, and so they definitely have a little practice serving drinks, and so they'll be out there as well. So you can bring your own cooler and pack whatever you want. As long as we don't do glass bottles of any type, but otherwise you can bring a cooler out if you want, and a lawn chair, or just bring a lawn chair and buy stuff there from Delmi's and Diego. Either way, it's just a great opportunity to come, hang out, have this community aspect, and really just enjoy the evening. The weather should be, as you said, a little on the cool side, which to me is pretty nice. It'll be in the 60s during that concert.
That's Toy's temperature. I give her a hard time. She likes it like 78.
Toy saw me come in this morning having bicycled here through 45-degree weather, and she looked like she didn't want to mimic that experience.
Yeah.
My limit, by the way, Toy, is 35. If it's below 35, I will not bicycle. But if it's 35 or up, I'm on the bike.
Not 35 below, like it is in Fargo. Not 35 below.
I have bicycled in Fargo,
man.
but in the summer, and it was not 35 below.
Well, we're really excited, Darren, just to have you on, and appreciate your friendship on this program. When we have guests, we consider you as part of our family here on Hello Huntsville and the Good Morning Huntsville show. I do have to ask you, and maybe you touched a little bit on this, but how did you go from you're an economics professor, economics to music, and do you play anything or sing?
So the second question is easier. I do sing terribly, so I will never I'll never be able to quit my day job.
Well, you're the guy that you want to call to karaoke. Then I get annoyed when you go to karaoke and there's people that should be on The Voice or America's Got Talent or the other ones that I'm like, you guys, you don't need to be singing karaoke. It makes all of us look really bad.
You will definitely feel superior to me if I sing karaoke. And Hash Pipe by Weezer is my specialty at karaoke, and even that, you can still tell. Very limited in the abilities. I actually was trained on the organ.
Okay.
So I can play a mean Bach, toccata, and fugue in D minor, and I don't think that's going to happen on this show ever.
Oh, well, wait a minute. You haven't been into our sanctuary here, probably.
I have, although it's been years.
There is an organ in there that has not been played in a long time.
Okay.
And one day when we have more time, I'll have to show you that thing. It is this beautiful organ that's upstairs, huge. You can walk inside of it.
So I have played a pipe organ, although it has been a long time. And then I kind of shifted over to piano because I couldn't afford an organ once I moved out on my own. And then I picked up guitar as well. But I'm not terribly accomplished at any of those three. But I've also listened to a lot of music, and it really did the inspiration. So I, talked with the museum, and I talked with Derek, who we've known each other for a while. And because we get called each other's names all the time. So people are like, hey, Derek. And I'm like, no, that guy over there. And then they call him Derek. It's confusing for both of us. And I talked to him about this. It really stemmed from an appreciation of the incredible depth of musical talent in this town and surrounding areas. So everyone who performs in Huntsville in Sundown at Sam's is within an hour's drive of Huntsville.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you are a fantastic performer, but you live in Galveston, you are not coming to Sundown at Sam's because you got to live within an hour's drive.
Yeah.
And so we've
cool,
had people this season. We've got several people from Huntsville. Someone from Bryan College Station, someone from San Jacinto County, the metropolis of Cold Spring, and I'd have to think about and somebody from Houston, and I've got people from Trinity and San Jacinto, kind of in my sights for next season.
New Waverly, folks in New Waverly. You know anybody there yet? I know your wife teaches there.
My wife does teach in New Waverly, and I don't know if we've ever had anybody from New Waverly on, but that doesn't mean it won't happen in the future.
We're putting out the call to Elle Turpening. She watches this show.
Okay.
She lives in New Waverly. Elle, if you know of somebody, send them Darren's way.
Send them my way. You can find me on the interwebs. My email is out there. And so anyway, it stemmed from this really just almost amazement at how great the variety of musical talent is nearby. And I just thought, why am I getting to listen to these people?
Yeah.
And hardly anybody else is. It's almost unfair. It's unfair to them. It's also unfair to the artist who, if you perform music, the amount of work that goes into it. I mean, how many songs can you sing from memory?
Yeah,
Right.
we usually have. We didn't do it this morning because I'm usually accompany her, but we usually sing a song every morning on the show when she's here.
And this is the thing. I know the first two lines, lots of songs, right? That's exactly.
See, her counterpart, one of the other great employees, Denise, comes on the show sometimes. Now, Denise and I will sing a lot of Notorious B.I.G. on this program. We do know those songs.
Okay. Well, I know. Blame it all on.
Blame it
all on my roots. Yes, what's that song? Low Places. Friends in Low Places. Right. I know that one start to finish, and that's about it. And you think, well, these people have to learn. They just have to learn the words to dozens of songs, and then you think, well, a lot of these are songs they've written themselves. And you think about the time and the effort, and you listen to them, and you think, well, they really worked on this thing. Right?
Yeah,
And that's a 4-minute song, and you can tell they've put hours and hours into this thing. And then,
no doubt.
Why is it just me that gets to listen to this? Or why is it just a handful of people that get to listen to this? People are putting their heart and soul into their music, and they do a great job. And frankly, I'm just as happy listening to somebody who, it may not be a blockbuster level, Led Zeppelin, level kind of hit, but I'm just as happy listening to it if it's really coming from their heart and soul. And so that was kind of where the spirit of Sundown at Sam's came from, is these people deserve to be heard, and Huntsville would love to hear them. And the museum is just this perfect setting for it. And it's a great way, really, for the university, too, to reach out to the community. I work at the university. I've been there for a long time, and so I do know that I think it's fair to say that we can always try in the university to have closer connections with the city of Huntsville, with Walker County. Some people know the university well, but some people, it's just that place up on a hill that you drive by as you're driving down Sam Houston Avenue.
Or that place you walk 10 miles a day if you're a student.
If uphill, always uphill. And so the museum is right there. It's accessible. The concerts are free. Parking is easy peasy right there on the street. And so it's just this nice way for the university to reach out to the local community and say, hey, come join us, come set a spell. And so I think that's a real plus as well.
Well, that's good. Well, Darren, appreciate all this great information, man. You're just a fun guy to hang out with and talk to, and we always love having guests on this show, and so appreciate you for taking time out of your busy day to come here and just bring some passion. I love, and I've said it numerous times on this show, that you can tell when someone is passionate about what they do by the aura that they put out. And I know that you're passionate about not only what you do for students at SAM through the economics department, but you're very passionate about this music series and giving due recognition to musicians. You know, early on, I was never a big music fan, but I learned to appreciate the hard work, as you were describing, that goes in. Former Sam Houston State broadcaster Bill Schoening, who is now who has been the voice of the San Antonio Spurs now for 28 years. He got his big break here at KSAM with Sam Houston years ago. He writes songs because they go on road trips a lot, and he has written some incredible music that if you were just looking for perfection, and Bill will even tell you this, I'm not putting it down, but you'd be like, well, that's just one that's in a bundle of another 100 or 100 million, you know. But if you listen to the words, and I appreciate it because he's my friend, but if you really listen to the words, you're like, there is so much talent hidden in here. And guys like that and these folks that you're mentioning deserve to be heard. And so we appreciate you for bringing this to our community. It's great, man.
Well, my pleasure, Rob, and I really appreciate y'all having me on. It's been great to help spread the word.
Yeah, you bet. Well, hey, happy St. Patrick's Day.
And to you, we're both wearing green. Yours is hidden.
Yeah, mine's hidden.
Mine's right up here. It's right up top. But I can attest that Rob is duly wearing green. He doesn't get pinched anymore.
No, not today. We didn't bring those. You know those things you see on the QVC late at night, the little grabber that you reach up and turn the lights on. Those are also pinchers. We didn't bring any of those today. You know, I usually bring those on St. Patrick's Day.
Very kind of you, but I was ready.
Well, man, I know you already said thank you, but is there anything else maybe that you had just something on the tip of your tongue you wanted to mention before we go today?
Well, our first concert is this Thursday night, and it features Lowry Bridges, who's a young man who is one of these people that really works on his songs, and lovely voice. And if you really listen, you can tell he's really worked on everything in the song. You know, the phrasing, the finger work on the guitar, the words, everything. Very excited. And then after him comes the Mighty York. And the Mighty York is known throughout Texas. We actually saw him at the Kessler Theater up in Dallas.
Oh,
you know,
cool.
That's in Oak Cliff, an old Art Deco theater from the 1930s. And so he's great. He's a blues guy. And you can find him on Spotify and all the places. So we're going to kick things off in style, great weather. And then on April the 10th, we're going to shift to more of a country style with Katie Bell and with John Toland together, and then followed by Joey McGee, who's out of Bryan College Station. And then May the 1st, very excited, a gospel night, Dave McMahon.
Oh, sweet.
McMahon. I
know Dave.
Yes, I think many people do.
Yeah, he's great, man.
He
Love
is.
that guy.
He is, yes. And then with him is Praise on Purpose. And Praise on Purpose is fantastic. And they're one of these hidden gems. Not everybody knows about them, but boy, they sure will after May the 1st.
Man, we may have to coordinate with you guys. It wouldn't take any audience away. But think about this for your back burner with, I have Spirit Radio here in Huntsville. It's on an app right now. We're waiting to get on the actual air at 94.3, but we run the station through the app. It would be cool to come out and do like a live rebroadcast of that through our app. So folks that couldn't make it out, and it's global, people could tune in on the Spirit Radio FM app. I would be more than happy to come out and do that. No charge.
So that is a possibility, and I don't know that I'm the one who can make that decision, but we will talk in some form or fashion, because that's going to be, I'm excited about all these concerts. It's going to be a great concert, and I think Dave and Praise on Purpose are really going to kind of complement each other. I'm very excited about them all. It's going to be a great way to finish off the show, finish off the series.
Yeah, well, great, man. So good to have you on. 2 things today, or 3 things. Go to the concert, kicking off this Thursday. Is that right? March the 20th?
Thursday night, March the 20th.
And bring a blanket. It's going to be a nice, cool evening, but bring the family. Going to be a lot of fun. The other thing we learned is coming soon. Darren Grant, his Nooks and Crannies on the show. We'll talk about that. And then maybe broadcasting one of those series for you guys.
That sounds fantastic.
All right. Well, there he is. Thank you, my friend. So good to have you.
Rob, thank you.
And, we do a little music writing here on this show. You know about the old Smither Bridge, right?
I do.
They tore that old booger down, And, I got a hold of an old buddy of mine, and I said, can you write a song about that? And we called it Doggone It's Gone. And here it is as we go to another break.
Well, doggone it's gone, the old Smither Bridge. Huntsville, Texas, memories to unhinge. Across I-45, a mess to behold. Traffic backed up, tempers running cold. Folks remember when it...
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Huntsville Executive Office Suites. Elevate your business image with prestigious move-in ready suites ranging from 150 to 3,000 square feet. Enjoy conference and training rooms, furnished and unfurnished options, custom build-outs, phone service, and a welcoming lobby. Coffee bar and dining area included for tenants. Benefit from 24/7 secure access and flexible lease terms. Located on Lake Road. Move-in begins in January. Contact Raven Property Management at 936-225-4378.
The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit
94.3. Alrighty, back at it here now. Hey, so my truck. Remember we said we were going to talk about my truck? My truck.
That should be
My
your
truck,
next-
my truck. It sounds like a
It's
rap.
your next country song.
Yeah.
Or I guess you could rap if you want to.
It's my truck, my Ford. Got a Ford truck, my Ford truck. I wouldn't have that Ford truck if I hadn't moved to Fargo.
Oh.
I had my Kia Optima paid off. I loved that car.
Oh yeah, that
I
would not
loved
have
it.
worked.
I loved that Kia Optima. It was such a good car. I didn't have any issues with it. In fact, when I got out at Fargo from the U-Haul, I forgot to lower the trailer, and so I drove it right off the trailer. Boom, the bumper all popped off. And you know what I loved about that car? I just popped it right back on. Nobody knew. And I had that thing paid off. It was a 2017 toy. I got it for $16,500.
You're not find one today like that.
17,000 miles, leather seats, cooling and warming, front and back. It was pristine.
Warming, I'm going to crank my car.
Yeah. So, but my truck, here's what happened. I'm almost at 60,000 miles. I'll make this very brief. 60,000 miles when the warranty expires. And my transmission at low speeds has been, boom, it just kind of jerks and knocks randomly at low speeds. And they have a recall on transmissions for some. Well, mine, luck would have it, was not on the recall list. But it's still covered under a powertrain if that's what it is. Well, we have a great dealership here, and I'm not knocking it. I will publicly say I think some things do need to be changed with the service department. And I take it there for oil changes. I love the folks here. They do a great job. They're good people. But the one thing that needs to change is you cannot leave you have to leave your car there. You can't set up an appointment. And it makes it inconvenient for us with kids and all that. And they're nice. I'm not go to them if you can, and I would recommend them over anybody. But I have to be able to make an appointment for this issue, and they said it would be 2 weeks, and I could not wait 2 weeks. And so I went to Henson in Madisonville, and they're nice as well. Second to my friends here in Huntsville. We're good people. But they were able to make an appointment. So I called them Saturday morning, and a guy's named Harold Roy. He's a worship leader at the Family Faith Church of Cold Spring, Texas. He's a worship leader.
Drives all the way from
He lives in that area.
Have we?
Not from Huntsville. He lives in
Huntsville?
that. He lives in that area and goes to Madisonville. He's worship leader of the fellowship of the church I just mentioned, the Huntsville Family Faith Church of Cold Spring. That's where he is. I'm starting to talk like that type of older person now. Well, long story short is he said, "Come on, man, bring it on by." He goes, I said, "Well, I can't get there till after." He goes, "That's fine, just leave it." Well, he didn't tell me, and they have a lockbox, but he didn't tell me that they have the little gate that locks up. Well, you can't leave it in their parking lot. So guess where we went last night finally because I was feeling a little bit better. And guess where I left my truck last night?
On the side of the road?
On the side of the interstate on 45 in front of their dealership, in front of the gate. And I backed it up to the gate because, people like to steal the what do you call it? I'm some moron.
Catalytic converter.
No. The tailgate. People steal because they're so easy to steal on those trucks.
That happened to my ex-father-in-law, I believe, not too long ago.
They're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I backed it up. I thought, man, I'm going to have a little bit of common sense. I'm going to back it up against this gate so it'll be a little more difficult and sometimes more difficult to tow. But, I mean, here I was, and here's the access road, and there's 45. Now, I have a camera that alerts me when there was movement. I told you I only got like 45 minutes. Maybe that's why I didn't sleep. Maybe it wasn't the shot.
Worried about your truck.
Yeah. But I looked and everything was fine and they took care of it. So that was my fun story about my truck that I was going to share with you this morning. My truck did not get stolen overnight.
Well, the other dealership that you were referring to, I think maybe because the service department makes you leave. Maybe that's indicative of how busy they are.
Yeah, and
how
they're good though.
Popular they are.
No, they're so good. I'm not knocking our friends here, man. They are great. I recommend them to people all the time. I get oil changes on my truck and it's like $50 for full synthetic. And you just go in and wait and they're done in 30 minutes. Right. But it's more of the longer things like that. And he was honest. He goes, "Man, we're just some short staffed on some of these things right now." And he goes, "Our transmission guy doesn't come in but like once every 2 weeks." But I will say constructively, not bashing, but constructively, got to find out a way just to let people make appointments. Just get them in a queue so they can bring it in when it's ready to be looked at. That's the only thing that I would change. And if they do that, then they're going to be 7-star instead of 5, which 5 ain't bad, right? So, well, Toy, we're going to wrap it up. I know you got to go. By the way, I want to tell you, happy St. Patrick's Day.
I got my earrings on.
What earrings do you have on? Oh, look at those, man. They say luck on them. There you go.
And I got my green.
And I'm wearing my green pants. Today, big news coming at noon. The rumor mill's already flowing. The water's going through that old turning thing. And I don't know what it's called. I just thought of like back in the day how they had the mill at the top at the bottom of the mountain and the water comes. the rumor mill.
Yeah, there you go.
It's churning. Who's going to be the new head football coach and athletic director? My guess is as good as yours, although I have some ideas. But I'm not the type of guy that wants to get the beat and be like, oh, I got to it first. I don't care about that. I want to get the facts. And the facts are, at noon, you're going to find out when we do.
Awesome.
You can go to Hello Huntsville Facebook page, see the live stream that we've shared from the school district. You'll find out who's going to write the next chapter of Huntsville Hornet Athletics, not just football, but the whole athletic program at HISD today at noon. Don't forget, tonight from 4 to 6, a tailgate going on in honor of former coach and athletic director Rodney Southern, as we are giving him a big thank you, the school district is today. So come on out. It's come and go, but go by and see Coach Southern today and give him a big hug. Tell him thank you, because he did a lot for this community. He's became a good friend of mine, and Coach Southern is a good man. You know, I hear people, not just young but older people, if it's a coach, call him coach. You know, I was around this older dude one time, and he kept saying, Rodney this. I said, man, he's a coach. That's Coach Southern.
Coach.
You got to call him coach. Like Bobby Williams, I don't say Bobby Williams. I say Coach Williams. That's coach back in the day. He's coach.
I don't know what I call him when I see him. I probably call him Bobby.
Start calling him.
Better
start calling him coach.
Okay, I'll tell him next time I see him. Rob told me I can't talk to you unless I call you coach.
Better start calling him coach, or that sponsorship. It's going to go up $50. No, I'm just kidding.
It's going to go down 50
because we were late, because you got to go. Well, hey, that'll wrap it up. Big thank you to our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union. I know we have a lot of fun on this show, but Toy, y'all really do make a difference. And I'm not just saying it because you're sitting next to me. I've said this before too. I had my loans with y'all long before y'all ever even were a thought of sponsoring this show. And back in the day when y'all sponsored, when I was at the radio station, I didn't have y'all's account, and I didn't get a dime for any of that. So I didn't do it for any gain there. I've always supported you guys because y'all truly give back. And friends, if you're looking for a financial organization to put your accounts at for your loans, when it comes to you and your family, go see our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union. They're always there. They're always ready to help, and they're eager to help, and they want to help. Go by and see them. All the services you need, and not the jargon either.
No.
So thank you, Toy.
Thank you.
Hope you warm up, all right?
I cranked my car, so it'll be warm when I get in it.
That'll be it.
It'll be just for a minute, though, because I've just got to go,
yeah, you got to roll. You got the chamber stuff going on today. And we're going to have him on our show before too long, too, the new chamber president. So
I'll get to see him today. I believe today's his first day on the job.
Perfect. We'll tell him, come on to the show, all right? Well, that'll wrap it up. Walker County Federal here, making a difference. As I end every broadcast, reminding you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand to support. Somebody out there needs you. That apple is right here from this morning. Love you, Huntsville. Have a blessed day. We'll see you, Toy. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you later, Toy. Oh, see you, Toy. You already said bye, but you got to say it one more time. It's see you, Toy.
Bye.